What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing 5 super simple tips in Battlefield 1 that you can implement instantly. Some of these you can even implement through the main menu, so no need for anything too complicated. I assure you, you will see immediate results, whether it's getting more kills, dying less, or improving your awareness and game sense, no matter what your preferred playstyle is or whichever soldier class you choose. So let's get straight into it. So the first tip to improving your game is to increase the size of your minimap. Now, the default minimap in Battlefield 1 is pretty small, and in the heat of the battle, that can make it tough to see where enemies, teammates, and objectives are. But did you know that you could increase its size in the settings? Alright guys, so I'm in an empty lobby right now, and as you can see in the bottom left of my screen, that's the minimap, and it is quite small. So I definitely have to move my eyes from the center of the screen to see the minimap, basically. So what I would do is I would go into options, then gameplay, then minimap, and the first option is minimap size, which is currently at 100. Let's see what it looks like at the max, 200%. Now this is massive, and I can see why you definitely wouldn't want this. It completely removes just a chunk from your screen. So what I do personally is I do something in the middle. Personally, I do 135, and this is what it looks like. I can see why you would want it a bit smaller, or in some cases even a bit bigger, but that's just how I like it. I would recommend you guys experiment with whatever size you would like. Alright, so my next tip is to get rid of all unnecessary distractions, including chat, ribbons, and if you really want to, music. So chat is pretty self-explanatory. It takes up a large chunk of your screen, and honestly, if you want to avoid toxicity, then it's best to avoid chat as well. Music doesn't really affect gameplay too much, but especially near the end of the match, it can get pretty loud, so really it's up to you. And finally, ribbons. Basically, after you achieve a milestone in a match, say you get like 5 kills with a submachine gun or something, a ribbon will pop up on your screen. And to a newer player, I understand that these ribbons might be significant, but as you really get better and better, these ribbons mean less and less, and they kind of accumulate throughout a game and just end up being visual and audio distractions. Alright, so for chat, all you have to do is press H on your keyboard. So there, you can hide the chat in the top left, just like that. You could also go into options, then gameplay, and with the chat log, you can change the size of the chat log. So 50% would be like that. You could also just make it less visible. Honestly, that's pretty good too. And then if you want to disable awards, then it's the same path to get the chat log. It's under miscut awards, just set that to hide. And then lastly, for music, all you have to do is go to audio, then music volume, you could change it to whatever you want. There are definitely some other settings in here that you could play around with to your liking, but yeah. Okay, so tip number 3 is something that completely changes the game, but I hardly see people utilize it, and I'm talking about the spotting mechanic. Spotting is extremely overpowered in this game, and if you aren't currently using it, then now is the time to start. Simply by pressing Q while looking at an enemy or enemy vehicle, a big red icon will appear over their head, which allows not only you, but your teammates to see them, which is crucial in a team-based game such as Battlefield. And from my experience, as soon as an enemy is spotted, they're basically dead within 5 seconds, either from you or your teammates. Spotting even allows you to see where an enemy is behind smoke. Okay, so we're going to go into options, then key bindings, Then whichever one you choose here, common, soldier, gunner, and then your vehicles. I'm going to go into soldier/gunner, and this keybind here, spot Komaros. The default is Q, but I could see how that might be a bit hard for some people to spam. So I rebind it to a key that's easily spammable. Personally, I use E, and then I rebinded interact and enter vehicles to Q. So for my fourth tip, it kind of ties into the last one, but that's customizing your keybinds for common actions. Okay, so we're back in keybinds. So the default keybinds in Battlefield 1 are actually pretty decent, but there are definitely some actions that you should be doing more often that have pretty awkward keybinds. So keys that I would suggest changing immediately are spotting, which is right here, spotting and then going prone, which is all the way down here, and then switching weapons, which, I mean, primary weapon and secondary weapon, I'd say that's really all you need. As I mentioned before, switching the spotting key to E makes it incredibly easy to do. And then switching prone to F also makes it really easy to dodge oncoming fire and get into cover. And then lastly, for switching weapons, I mean, ignore these two. These are actually programmed to my mouse buttons using an outside software. But it makes it really easy to switch weapons, switch to a sidearm when you're out of ammo in your primary, for example. Right, and for my final tip, this one is definitely the most up to personal preference out of the 5 tips, but I would not be the same player that I am today without doing this. I'm talking about equipping smoke grenades for each and every one of your classes. And why, you may ask? Because in my opinion, smoke grenades are far and away the best grenade in the game, but they do require a lot of skill and practice. So obviously smoke grenades don't deal direct damage, but they are incredibly useful, especially when you need to cover your movements. Smoke can help you escape a sticky situation, block enemy vision, and even allow you to close the distance on enemies and enemy tanks without being spotted. I promise you, in the long run, they will get you more kills than any other grenade will. And that's why I recommend equipping smoke grenades on all 4 of your characters. So I recommend just playing a few games with them and see if you like them. If you don't, that's totally fine. So there you have it. 5 simple but effective tips to instantly make you a better Battlefield 1 player. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot. But for now, enjoy some more gameplay footage where I utilize these 5 tips. Take care, guys.
Sturmsoldat gesichtet! Sturmsoldat! Behaltet ihn im Auge! Sturmsoldaten! Aufpassen! Feindlicher Speer gesichtet!
We have taken objective butter.
Speer gesichtet! Erste Hilfe, greif zu! Sturmsoldat in Sicht! Oh. Lass mich deine Wunden versorgen!
We are losing objective
Rauchgranate
Duff.
unterwegs, aufpassen!
We have taken objective Edward.